Hey everyone, and welcome to your next episode of Cooking with Nichole. So tonight's going to be kind of a two-part meal recipe. I'm doing both the main entree and the side dish. I'm going to start out with the side dish, and these will be two separate tutorial videos. So they won't all be combined to one video to save time and you're not sitting there forever just saying, come on Nichole, get to the point. So tonight we're going to start out with the side dish, which we are making keto wild rice side dish. So kind of like a wild rice pilaf. That is my attempt in what I'm going to make, but instead of using wild rice, I am using hemp hearts or hemp seed. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna taste great. You're like, oh my gosh, this girl has totally lost it, but I promise you, it will be delicious. So the first thing that we're gonna start out with is melting 3 tablespoons of butter in our saucepan here. And once that gets melted down, we're gonna add to it 3/4 of a cup of cut or chopped mushrooms. Now, if you're not a mushroom fan, by no means do you have to use mushrooms. You can certainly leave them out of the recipe, but we're gonna do 3/4 of a cup of mushrooms. We have a full cup of the hemp hearts. And I have 1/4 of a cup of ground or chopped almonds. Now, the almonds that I chose to use tonight have already been seasoned. I happened to find a gourmet bag of garlic and olive oil almonds at Costco. And so I thought, wow, that would be an awesome addition to our wild rice tonight. And so I did grind up some of those almonds, and we have 1/4 of a cup there. So as our butter is melting, we are just going to spread this around here. And the reason why we're using 3 tablespoons of butter is because mushroom definitely absorbs the oil, and it can kind of get a little dry, and we want to cook them down until they're nice and soft and tender overall. Now, I would not recommend using canned mushrooms. I actually hate canned mushrooms. I think canned mushrooms are the epitome of rubber. So there is absolutely no reason to use canned mushrooms when fresh, whole, better food ingredients are out there. You want to get away from using as much of the processed and canned foods as we can. Now, of course, my channel is called Everyday Cooking with Nichole, and the whole point of the everyday to my YouTube channel is because I do want this to be simple and easy for folks who maybe aren't as well versed with cooking or aren't as savvy with whole food ingredients. And that's my whole point, is hopefully over time you'll get to that point. So we're going to sprinkle in our almonds and our fresh 3/4 of a cup of mushroom. And now we're just going to let these cook, like I said, until the mushroom cooks down and becomes tender. And it just looks like this. The mushrooms will wilt up a little bit, and they'll start to brown on the outside. As you can see, the mushrooms are already kind of sucking up the butter. So going back to what I was saying, you want to use as fresh of ingredients as possible, because then you know what's in your food. That's when you know what you're taking in to nourish your body as fuel. And you want those foods and those products to be as good for you as possible. Keto really does require that you get away from a lot of artificial types of things, like artificial sugars. Did you know that there's almost 150 names for sugar out there? And until you become really attuned to reading nutrition labels and stuff, which comes with time as you are improving your nutrition, it takes time to identify those fake and false chemicals that are going in your food. You can see that this is turning a nice brown and golden color, and it's nice and caramely looking. I'm just going to turn down my heat here a little bit. This looks amazing. It smells great too. The olive oil and the garlic off of the almonds are just very good. Love the smell. So now what we're going to do is we are going to add in a half of a cup of chicken broth. Our 1 cup of hemp hearts. And we're going to season it with some parsley. We can get it open here. Some black pepper, some garlic powder, and some salt. And there we go. We're just going to stir this together until it's well combined. And you just want to cook it until it is like a rice-like consistency. The nutrition facts on this will be available for you with the post on Facebook or at the end of the YouTube video. But you can see how it's already kind of thickening up into a nice rice-like texture. Hemp hearts are all fat, all protein, and fiber. There's very, very little carbohydrate content to it. The amount of total carbs in hemp heart is the same as the fiber. So they're purely fiber, fat, and protein. So this is where we can get away with having this as a side dish. There's no carbs in it, so it's awesome. It's gonna taste amazing. So we're just gonna let this continue to cook down. And it's almost ready, in my opinion. Basically, those hemp hearts are absorbing that liquid. Now, if it gets a little thick on you, you can definitely always add a little bit more of the chicken broth to the mixture. But you're just gonna let this continue to cook until the mushrooms are totally cooked through and it's the consistency that you would like to see it. I feel like this is already almost done. So as you can see, in a matter of roughly 8 minutes, we have created a wild rice mushroom pilaf to have alongside our supper menu tonight, which is going to be beef patties with a mushroom gravy sauce. So it's all going to turn out well together. We'll bring you back for that video. I hope you enjoy this sweet deal tonight, and we'll see you in a bit.